Well, hello everyone. I was told that the video that we recorded for the live session did not have any audio to it, and I reviewed it, and it was quite correct. So this is just a new recap of what we discussed last night, and just some helpful hints for your upcoming IRAC assignment. So in this assignment, your client is John. He was ticketed for speeding, going 75 miles an hour, and it gives you all the facts of the case, the traffic conditions. What the weather was, the road conditions, if it had any curves in it, those kinds of things. What you're going to be doing in this case is you're going to be making an argument that based on some previous case law, your client, John, was not speeding. Now, you won't always get this much help when we're doing an IRAC in the future. So you've already been given the issue and the rule that you have to drive reasonably safe under the circumstances and, what the courts look at to determine if somebody's going reasonably safe. And then we gave you all of the facts of an analogous case, Nevada v. Smith. What your assignment is to write an argument and compare the two cases and argue that your case is similar enough to Nevada v. Smith such that your client, John, is not speeding. Now, here's just a few helpful things to help with this assignment. You want to begin your argument with whether or not John was driving a reasonable speed at the circumstances. So just simply say, John will argue that he was driving a reasonable speed under the circumstances. And then you want to compare the facts of the two cases. So take a look at the factors that the court looks at in determining what is reasonably safe, and that's back in your rules section. Take a look at weather, road, and traffic conditions. You can see all of those factors mentioned in both your fact pattern for John and the fact pattern for Nevada v. Smith. And so what's a good thing to do is take each individual factor one at a time. So like weather, road, traffic conditions, and compare in each case. It's probably a good idea to deal with each factor side by side. So when you're talking about weather, it would be a good idea to say something like, the weather in Nevada v. Smith was this. Likewise, in our case, the weather was this. And there is a potential weakness in your case that kind of has to do with the weather, and it would be a good idea to mention it, but show why it's not really a big problem. So once you've compared all the factors, you want to tie it up with a good conclusion sentence, such as, therefore, John was driving at a reasonable speed under the circumstances. Now, in the next section that you're going to do, the conclusion section, you've already got the opening sentence there for what it should look like. The court should find that John's speed was reasonable under the circumstances because, and then you just want to reiterate some of the facts from John's case that support that conclusion. You do not want to compare Nevada v. Smith in your conclusion section. You've already done that in the application section. So just reiterate the factors from John's case that show that he was driving reasonably under the circumstances. Now, a couple other helpful hints. I've seen students in the past treat the analogous case section almost like it was a script, the application section, almost as though it was a script for court. Like they'll put lines in there such as, Your Honor, and may it please the court, our client John was not speeding, or something of that nature. You don't need to write anything like that. Just begin quite simply with saying what you're going to be arguing, that he was driving reasonably under the circumstances, and then just compare the factors in the two cases. It should not be very long. You're maybe looking at roughly a paragraph, but make sure you cover the factors, weather, road, and traffic conditions. I will be looking at that. Now, if you have any questions, you can feel free to email me. I will be accepting rough drafts on this until tomorrow morning, Saturday morning, April 15th. And I encourage you to send one of those. I do try to give very detailed feedback on them. And once again, I apologize for the technical issue on that. And again, I'm looking forward to reading these, and I hope that you all have a very blessed day, and I wish you all well.